and welcome to the Autotech Stadium in Solihull, the venue for our latest game in the FA Women's Super League. It's Birmingham City ladies against Reading women in a must-win clash for both sides. Birmingham City ladies are traditional WSL title challengers, finishing as runners-up in both 2011 and 2012. But the money being lavished on the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea have made it difficult to compete. Despite the departure of star player Karen Carney over the winter, David Parker's side have made a solid enough start to the new campaign and will be looking to kick on in front of their own fans. Against newly promoted Reading, who know what it's like to lose a star player to Chelsea. England star Frank Kirby propelled the Royals towards the WSL 2 title before leaving for the champions last year. Kelly Chambers' girls are looking for their first top-flight win of the season, but performance levels have been improving of late, and they'll be desperate to break their duck tonight. BT Sports coverage of the 2016 FA Women's Super League continues with Birmingham City ladies against Reading women. Kick-off is 30 minutes away. Very good evening from the Midlands. For the first time this season, we're already, though, a quarter of the way through the 2016 FA Women's Super League season. We do take a break in the Women's Super League, but not before we can squeeze in another couple of games. Starting tonight and watching alongside me from Doncaster Rovers is Sue Smith and new FA Cup winner Casey Stoney from Arsenal, of course. We start with that. Congratulations, Casey. A fantastic weekend for you. Talk us through the day on Saturday and what it was like to lift that trophy at Wembley.
A dream come true. It was absolutely amazing. From the minute we started the game to the end and all the celebrations, you know, the girls really put in a shift, and I was proud of every single player in our team, in our squad, the staff, the management. You know, they got it right on the day, and you know, we had a special player out there who scored a special goal, and if I'm honest, 11 players played really well, and that's why we won the game. So, you know, to be able to walk up them steps at Wembley, you know, it's something I probably didn't even dare that I would, to dream that I would do when I was younger. So to be able to do that, I savoured every single step. When uplifted it was brilliant.
I suppose Chelsea, it's fair to say, a lot of people had down as favourites going into the game. Did you feel that the pressure was off you going into it? Was it better to go in as the underdogs?
I think that's what made it even more sweeter for us. We were, you know, not expected to win. Based on form, Chelsea were the favourites, but we're Arsenal. There is pressure to win when you're at Arsenal. We've won it 13 times before, so there was pressure. But having said that, you know, I thought we were a better team on the day. We played well for 90 minutes and we deserved the win.
So you were there as well, of course. What did you make of how Arsenal performed on the day?
Exactly what Casey said. I think I was one of those doubters. I was the one that said I thought Chelsea were going to win the game. I thought that their form was better. I thought the amount of goals that they'd scored in the Super League, I thought they were going to cause Arsenal some problems. But all credit to Arsenal. From minute one, they were on the front foot. They were the better team for the 90 minutes. And I think if you had to pick a player of the match, you could have picked any one of 11, because all the way through the team, they won their individual battles. And I think as a manager, that's something that you always say, isn't it? Make sure you win that individual battle, and that's exactly what they did. So yeah, they are well-deserved winners, and it was a really good cup final, and I think a very good goal for a fitting occasion.
It was a very good individual goal from Dan Carter. How do you kick on from that into the league?
Well, I think we've set our standards now. We know what we can do if we play with the right intent and the right intensity. So it's really important. We got a game Saturday against Sue's lot, so massive game for us, and one we really want to go and win.
To the league then, and we did have a game last night in the North East. It was Liverpool who travelled up to Sunderland, and they ran out 4-0 winners, eased to a 4-0 victory at Sunderland. Goals from Rosie White and Alex Greenwood, who got a first for Liverpool in the first half. There was an own goal from Steph Bannon in the second half, forced by Tasha Harding. And Katie Zellem, of course, with a last-minute goal as well. So Carlton Fairweather's team still looking for their first win this season. An important win, though, for Liverpool. And it's done them wonders in the table, as we'll soon see. This is how it looks after that game and going into this game. Well, that was the result last night, of course. And there are games this evening. Let's see what it does to the table. And as you can see, Liverpool moved up to third place. Our teams tonight, Birmingham ladies, they're in fifth. In seventh there are Reading. Manchester City and Chelsea still occupy those top two places. They play tonight. They kick off at 7:30, and we will keep you updated with that score from Staines. Sue, who goes into that game as favourites?
It's a really difficult one to predict. I think you think, will Chelsea have a reaction from the cup final? I think that's something that Emma Hayes will say to her players. You didn't perform. You need to perform in this game, and I'm sure she will have instilled that into her players. They'll go out, they'll want to prove a point, but I think Manchester City might just sneak it. I think they've had a little bit more rest. I think they've been able to focus on this game, whereas Chelsea might still have their cup final in the back of their mind. So I'm going to go for a really close game, but I think Man City might just sneak it.
You'll be keeping a close eye on that score, won't you, Casey?
Absolutely, and as an Arsenal player, I'd take a draw.
Well, 2015 was a disappointing season for Birmingham, who were just 5 points off relegation, having been title contenders for the years previously. Their manager, David Parker, has been speaking to Adam Summerton.
David, 5 games in, what have you made of the season so far?
I think from ourselves it's been a really positive start. I mean, we've got points on the board early on where people have expected us to struggle, but our performances have been good and we've probably deserved more points on the board than we've actually got at this stage.
And it's been a much better start for you than it was last season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. I mean, we know the troubles and the problems we had. We know where we went wrong last season. We've put those right from the beginning of last summer, and then at the start of this season we've transitioned into full-time, completely changed the infrastructure and the staffing in the background to help facilitate the players, and we've seen the performances really push on now because of those changes.
Reading, the opposition tonight, what have you made of their start to this season and life in the WSL?
Yeah, I think a very good solid start. I think they're just looking for that first win, but from watching them, they like to play from back to front quickly, not direct but quickly into their quick forwards and get on, and I think they're just itching to get that 3 points and really see them off the board. But I think they'll do well this season. They'll tick along and I think they'll be safe in the long run because they've got a threat going forward and they're pretty solid in midfield at the back, and I think they'll be perfectly fine.
Back to yourselves, you're a club that really likes to give youth a chance, aren't you?
We have, yeah, we're renowned for it. We are the club that's produced the most England players over the last 15-16 years of women's football. We give youth a chance pushing forward, and it's always part of our philosophy. We're very good at that and bringing players through and then watching those players move on to bigger and better things, whether that's in America or other clubs in this country. And watching the youngsters tonight, I know we'll have 17, 18-year-olds on the field, a bench packed full of youngsters as well, and it's just great seeing them come on and really achieve their aspirations and goals in the game.
We'll look forward to seeing them. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
David Parker speaking to Adam Summerton there. So let's turn our attention to Birmingham. Delighted to have Karina Schroeder with us. A new recruit over the summer, Karina. How are you finding life here in Birmingham? Have you settled?
Yeah, I mean, the girls are all really nice and it's really easy to settle in. And they help me a lot here. It's all good so far.
Unfortunately, injury has kind of put back your debut, hasn't it? Just tell us how rehab's going, what the injury is.
My injury is my hamstring, so the treatment is going really well, but we don't know yet when I'm back. Hopefully soon, so I can help the team.
It must be quite frustrating to be sat on there. I'm sure Sue will empathise with you.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's always frustrating if you have to watch how your team play. Especially for me, I'm not good in watching, so I want to be on the pitch and help the team. But so.
How far off are you, do you think, from making a comeback?
It's tough to say at the moment. I don't really want to set a target now because otherwise I get frustrated again. But I hope I'm soon on the pitch, but
we hope to see you playing very soon. Let's take a look at some of your teammates then, and Frida Aisi will be one of those that will be watching, of course, very closely. Casey, a former teammate of yours at Arsenal, what type of player is she?
She's one of the strongest players in the game, technically one of the most gifted. She'll cause problems. I actually think she's really benefited from going full-time, and when we played them in the league, she was probably their star player against us, so really excited to see what she's going to do against this Reading side tonight.
Will it be down to a player like Frida, Sue, to step into perhaps Karen Carney's shoes now she's left?
Yeah, I think so, because she's going to have been a big loss. She's a player that can just, take the game by the scruff of the neck and score an amazing goal, or she can create a fantastic chance. So somebody like Frida, who is technically very good, she's very strong, she can score good goals, as you can see there. So yeah, she probably will have to step up a level, which I'm sure she's prepared to do.
What have you made of Birmingham's start to the season, having watched from the sidelines? They've certainly made a better start than last year, haven't they?
Yeah, of course. I think they're doing really well. And nobody from the other team, all the other team thinks that expected us in the bottom. So I think we are doing really well, especially against Arsenal. I think we had to win, but obviously a draw. Yeah, so
we'll take that. In terms of defence, at the other end, of course, they've been pretty solid. They've got the second strongest defence behind Manchester City so far this season. One of the key players to that is Aoife Mannion, Sue.
She's been excellent, and she's a player. She's only young, but she's very wise beyond her years. She reads the game very well, and she's very versatile. Can play along the back line, so she could play it central, she could play out wide right. And I think she's technically, she's very good. She reads the game, and I think she's good 1v1 defending. That's a fantastic tackle. You got to time that perfectly, and she did that really well there.
Just tell us kind of in terms of how you're settling in, and do you see your kind of role changing at all? Because I suppose you're one of the older players in the group. Do you take a lot of responsibility in the changing room?
Yeah, I mean, I try to help the girls when I'm around them, of course. I try to help them at halftime against Arsenal, in the game against Arsenal. So yeah, we have a really young team, you said, but I think our team spirit is really good, and that helps us a lot.
Another experienced player who you know very well, of course, Casey, is Jo Potter.
Yeah, I think I have to say against us, she was another shining star. You know, she dictated the game from midfield. I expect her to dictate the game again today. She can shift it onto her left foot and she can open the game up for Birmingham. And she's a key player for them. You know, set pieces as well. She delivers a fantastic ball. You know, I don't think Reading will be wanting to give away any free kicks around their goal tonight because Jo Potter will punish them.
Just very quickly, Karina, how are they feeling tonight, having not played Reading before?
I think they're feeling good, so I think everything is good, so we will get a win, hopefully.
Karina, thank you very much for joining us. We are closing in on kick-off. Do join us after the break where we'll focus our attentions on the visitors tonight, Reading. Welcome back to Solihull, where we're just 15 minutes away from kick-off here. Just a quick reminder that if you want to catch up with what's been happening in the women's game, then WSL Social is the programme to watch. You can catch that this Sunday from midnight on BT Sport 1. Well, back here, Birmingham and Reading had just finishing their warm-ups. Watching on has been Kelly Chambers, the manager of Reading, and she's been talking to Adam Somerton.
Kelly, what have you made to life in the top flight so far?
Yeah, it's been fun, it's been exciting. It's definitely been a challenge, which we knew it was going to be anyway, but I think we've embraced it quite well. We're picking up points slowly, and I think we're just progressing and growing in the game at this flight. So we're enjoying it, but it's hard work.
Would it be fair to say that you're a squad, a club in transition?
Oh, 100%. Even just going from part-time to full-time, that transition is been difficult, and it's obviously for the players as well, learning more about professional football. But it's fantastic in the sense of we can have day-to-day contact on the pitch and make sure that the players are progressing along with the team and the squad.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it. No, it's great. From when I first started to see where we are now. 15 years down the line, to see us fighting in the top flight of women's football is fantastic. So yeah, I'm enjoying and loving every minute of it.
I know Helen Ward's been talking before the game about getting a monkey off your back in terms of the first win. Is that how it feels?
Yeah, you could say so. I think if we, at the start of the season, if we looked at our results and said, oh yeah, we'd take a point here and there, the points for me have been great. 1-1 away to Sunderland, Notts County. They're not easy sides to get points up, so it's been a positive start, but yeah, it'll be nice for us to give them 3 points on the board.
And just finally, what particular challenges do Birmingham pose to you tonight?
Probably different to what we've played already. They're a very physical team. They're resilient, very resilient. So I'm expecting a tough test tonight, and it'll be probably one of the toughest that we've played so far, definitely.
Thanks for your time.
No problem, thank you.
Kelly Chambers there talking to Adam Somerton. Reading then, in terms of their results so far this season, they're proving pretty hard to beat with 3 draws, but I know Arsenal of course managed it. What was your impression of them when you played them?
I thought they were very organised, they were very resilient, they were quite physical in their midfield areas, and they've always got a threat going forward. So I think they'll do okay this season. You know, I think they need to get a win, because I think that'll boost confidence, but to pick up points where they have, it's not difficult. It's not an easy place to go, is Sunderland or Notts County, so they'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, Sunderland was the last game where they drew, as we can see here. Sue, how well do you think they've adapted to moving up to WSL 1?
Yeah, I think they've adapted well. I think what you want to do when you move up into WSL 1 is you want to compete, and I think that's what they've done in every single game they've competed. So even if they haven't won the game, they've had opportunities to win the game, and I think that's the difference between WSL 1 and WSL 2. You've got to be clinical, so when you have a chance in front of goal, you have to take it. You've got to have goal scorers, because you'll only get that one chance. In WSL 2, maybe you get 3 or or 4 chances. So you have to be clinical, and you can't make mistakes at the other end. That's the other thing. So you've got to tighten up defensively and make sure you're scoring goals.
So how key then is going full time, do you think, when you move up to this division?
Yeah, massively, and that's something fitness-wise. I think touches on the ball, being able to look at tactics that you need to work on, and it just helps you as a player. You're not having to fit in your work with your training, which can be difficult, as we both know. So it's nice to actually go full time and just focus completely on your football. But then it's going to take a bit of time to adapt to that full time, because again, it's hard to train twice a day when you've never been used to training twice a day. So that could take probably a season or so to get used to.
There's a big Welsh contingent in the Reading side. One of them being Helen Ward, who does have experience in WSL 1 with Chelsea and with Arsenal.
Yeah,
she's a big player for them, isn't she?
She's massive, and she's a natural goal scorer. You know, she's had spells at Arsenal, spells at Chelsea, and she'll get goals. You know, and obviously we know she's not starting tonight, so it'd be interesting to know why. Because I think, you know, if the chances are in the box, she'll take them. So it'd be interesting to see if they miss her tonight, and the reasons for her not playing.
How key is that she's on the bench tonight, do you think, Sue?
It's somebody to bring on, but we were all quite shocked that she wasn't starting, because she is, like Casey said, a natural goal scorer. She's a threat going forward, so you want those sort of players. So whether she's picked up a niggle, we're not too sure, but if she is fit, then she's somebody that can come on and change the game for Reading.
Who replaces her then? Who's the key player out there with Helen on the bench?
I think we're looking at Emma Follis. I think she is the key threat for Reading, playing on the right. She's a dribbler. She might switch sides. She can play on the left or the right. She's very direct. She's a dribbler. She'll get at players and she'll create opportunities for Reading.
They've got a good infrastructure, haven't they? They're playing a big stadium. They've got a good group of players. Their aim, according to the manager, is just to simply stay up in this league. Do you think they've got the potential to do that, Casey?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the key is going full time. If you can get contact time with your players on the grass, that's the most important thing. You can work on game plans. You can get your players fitter. You can get them more technically adapted to the game. And also, it's a big step up from WSL 2 to WSL 1. But I think they're adapting quickly. You know, the more points they can pick up, the better. But being full time is key to that.
They're without a win, of course. Doncaster without a win at the moment in this division. How do you keep morale up when you're not getting the wins?
It's difficult, because when you're winning, everything's great. Everybody's smiling when they go to training, and it's difficult because you can get into a losing streak as you can into a winning streak. But I think it's just about keeping that team spirit going, and that's something that I know Glenn has worked with us at Doncaster, and I'm sure exactly the same at the other clubs, because once you get those 3 points on the board, you can sort of relax a little bit then, and it's just getting those first 3 points. And even if you play well and you don't win, it's still quite disappointing. So it's trying to keep that morale up. But I think, you know, both ourselves and Reading, you know, have got quite a good team spirit, and we worked really hard last year to get up. So, you know, we want to stay up.
Well, we are counting down to kick-off. It's been fairly cloudy. We've had a few showers here in Birmingham, but the fans have turned out to see if they can climb up the table, or will Reading collect their first win of the season. Kick-off is coming up next. Welcome back. The sun is shining in Solihull. The players are ready for our WSL game. It is Birmingham City Ladies against Reading Women. Let's get to our commentary team, Adam Summerton and Lucy Ward.
Thank you, Natalie. Good evening, everyone. Well, we're always guaranteed to see some of the country's most promising young talent at Birmingham City, a WSL club well known for giving youth a chance. One of the things that keeps them coming through the turnstiles. 6 of the Blues last starting 11 were 21 or under. You'd have to say they're delivering right now as well. The team seemingly moving forward, on course to improve upon last season's 6th place finish. Runners-up, it's easy to forget in 2011 and 2012 Birmingham City. And the long-term aim is certainly to get back to that sort of level. Survival the sole objective for Reading right now. The WSL 2 champions still adjusting to life in the top flight, I think it's fair to say. And while their performances have been attracting a degree of praise, the Royals are still awaiting their first win. How they'd love it to come tonight ahead of a mid-season break. The players just keeping us waiting a little bit here in Solihull. The sun has just come out before kick-off. There has been plenty of rain in the last hour or so. Birmingham City, by the way, with 7 points from their First game's a decent return for the Blues, certainly a platform for growth. Last season it took them 11 games to get to the same total. Reading's away form in WSL 2 last season was absolutely exceptional. A 100% record, 9 wins out of 9. In fact, they took 9 points more on the road than they did at home. But the top flight, a very different proposition. 3 away games so far this season for the Royals have produced 2 draws and a defeat. Reading so good and so consistent in the second tier last season. Have certainly had to adapt since promotion to the top flight. Have made themselves physical and compact. Difficult to play against. Up to Birmingham as the home side to try and take the game to them tonight. Blues a side who've struggled for goals. It will be fascinating to see how they approach this evening in Solihull. All 4 teenagers are in the Birmingham side tonight, including England under-19 international Chloe Peplow, recalled at the expense of Remy Allen, who drops to the bench. Now the only change to the 11 that started their 1-0 win at Notts County last time out. Captain Emily Westwood got the winner that day. Well, there are 2 changes to the Reading side that drew 1-1 with Sunderland. Top scorer Helen Ward and England under-23 international Lauren Bruton dropped to the bench. Melissa Fletcher and Laura Walkley both make their first league starts of the season. England under-19 international Molly Bartrip has played every minute of the 2016 campaign.
Birmingham are playing a 3-5-2 system tonight, which means they'll have strength in midfield, numbers and width in attack. The outside centre halves will have to deal with the threat in the channels. This system also means that they have bodies to press high and wide. Expect Potter to dictate play in midfield. Reading are a young team, but they've got international experience. The wide players are key, and together with the 2 forwards, they need to pull about the back three of Birmingham and move about in the channels. Settle back 4, which is good experience, and 2 mobile strikers. We're hoping to get the goals. They'll get Reading the first win.
Plenty of team spirit in evidence, something that both of these clubs are known for. Birmingham, a club where young players are often allowed to flourish. 18-year-old Jessica Carter, among their most exciting prospects right now, capped by England at under-19 level. She's an ever-present for Blues this season in the WSL. Emma Follis, a key reason for Reading's title success last season. The club's top scorer in WSL 2 with 12 goals. She's played in every minute of this season's league campaign. The referee tonight, by the way, is Wayne Barrett, who has regularly taken charge of games in the Men's National League this season, has also been an assistant as high as championship level. Gareth Hubbard and Andrew Ellis, the assistants. The 4th official is Mark Billingham. Well, a valuable 3 points on offer here. Birmingham would move above Arsenal and Liverpool into 3rd in the table with as little as a point tonight. Reading hoping to pull away from the relegation zone. A first WSL victory could potentially take them up a place from 7th to 6th. They actually moved up 1 without playing last night after Sunderland were hammered 4-0 by Liverpool. Birmingham City, WSL ever-present, newly promoted Reading, still learning the ropes, but despite the differing levels of experience, you might not expect there to be too much in this, Lucy Wood.
No, I think it'll probably be quite an open game. Both teams want to win. It probably won't be cagey because there's not that much at stake in terms of we're not that far into the season, but Reading will want their first win, and I think they'll come here to think that they can get the 3 points here at Birmingham.
Looking to get about Blues early on here. They've got this reputation as being physical and compact this season. Reading, I guess you'd expect that from a newly promoted team. On the attack here with Jane, the right back. Breaks here for Joe Potter, who brings plenty of experience to what is generally a pretty young Birmingham side. 7 of the 11 are 21 or under.
Both quite physical teams as well. They both like to battle, and whoever wins the battle, I presume, will go on to win the game. We'll just see how it pans out.
Emma Follis it was who found touch. Really was fantastic last season in WSL 2. Former Aston Villa youngster.
So that's where the space is going to be, down either side of the outside centre-backs at Birmingham, just in that channel.
Here's Mannion, who's been some rave reviews for her performances so far this season. First involvement here for Frida Aisi, who's got plenty of pace. Sliding in was McGee. This is Cox. Walkley. Jane again looking to get forward here. Loves to do that. Potter. Here's Mannion once more, who's an England under-23 international. One of a few players at Birmingham who actually came through the ranks at nearby Aston Villa. Clearance by Sophie Bagley. Birmingham City have already beaten Doncaster here this season, but their home form has been a problem for a while. They've won two, I should say, of their last 12 WSL home games. And something, if they are to move forward, Lucy, develop, get anywhere near the sort of level they were playing at a few years ago when they were challenging for the title, playing in the Champions League, that will have to improve.
Yeah, it will. I mean, they've got a few players out injured, the most notable, Jade Maud, just coming back from injury, back on the bench, and she's a key player. She was one of the best players for England during the summer, so obviously Birmingham to get themselves back up where they were, players like her will need to be fit and playing.
Movement here. And Stringer could have an opportunity, certainly a sighter.
I tend to think as the ball's coming towards Stringer then that she probably did have a little bit of time. It came all the way through, past a load of bodies, landed at her feet. She probably had time to take a touch. She had the confidence to strike it first time, but it wasn't on target. And that's what's going to happen. That overload down that right-hand side for Stringer. She just didn't connect properly.
Stops. Harrop it was applying the pressure. Pressure it was that worked. Just a little loose though, the pass intended for Potter. Carter's pass finds Mannion. Follis. This looks promising for Reading. There's that injection of pace as well. Will be a goal kick, but we've seen there just a glimpse of what Follis is capable of.
You see, when Reading sees a team sheet and sees how Birmingham is set out, that is the space. Follis, she gets past the outside centre half, Mannion, and she just lets it run away from her, but there's a space. And what will have to happen is Stringer will come back and it'll be like a back five, and that's something that Birmingham won't want. But Follis is the real danger for Reading.
Spent 14 years with Aston Villa, Emma Follis. On the ball again. Intervening was Carter for Birmingham.
Birmingham are passing the ball about in their own defensive third when perhaps at this stage in the game they should just get the ball up to Aisi and just stretching Reading a little bit. Reading are winning the ball quite high up the pitch, and that just puts the Birmingham goal under threat.
Carter decides to go long, the header by McGee. Harrop with the throw in. Back here for Jess Carter, just 18 years old. Foul by Walkley.
Yeah, Pepler's receiving the ball and she's coming on towards the defence, and she's never going to be able to get a turn on, and therefore the Reading are putting pressure on and winning the ball there.
Harrop immediately under pressure from Jane. Harrop just beaten to it. Carter. And now Mannion for Birmingham City. Just that one opportunity so far for the home side, falling to Abby Lee Stringer on the edge of the area. Peplow looking to stretch the play. Covering defender was Jane. Looking to play their way out from the back here. The Royals, who've made a pretty confident start.
Yeah, they have both teams finding the feet. I say Birmingham giving it away in strange positions, but they do have the firepower up front with Aisi.
Well, David Parker has been in charge for more than 5 years now at Birmingham Ladies, appointed manager for the inaugural WSL season in 2011 when he was just 26. And there is Kelly Chambers, one of 2 female managers in the WSL right now, along with Chelsea's Emma Hayes.
It's nice to see him yawning anyway watching this. What chance have we all got if he's yawning?
I just wonder, I thought, should we let that go?
No chance, no chance.
Aisi. What a talent. Frida Aisi, player a lot of people are talking about. Pass by Cox. Wallace it was with the back heel. Mannion now for Birmingham. Aisi with a bit of space to work with. Potter. And now Wellings. And back towards Potter again. It could be a chance. Goes down. And they ask the question, and the referee says no penalty.
Yeah, you could sort of see what Joe Potter had in mind there as the ball came through to her. It was a good run from midfield. Like I said before the game, she would dictate play. Wellings got the ball back to her, and she tried to take it round Earps. Just left her leg there a little bit. I think the referee wasn't having any of it. Quite an experienced referee. She wasn't going to get to the ball, and I don't really think Earps touched it.
Certainly gave Barrett a decision to make. And it looks as though he got the right one. Headed by Carter, playing on the left. With that defence tonight. Jane. There's the captain, McGee.
You see little sparks of life in Reading when they get the ball 1 and 2 touch. They have got that rhythm. It's a team full of confidence from last year, and they've had a couple of good results this season as well. Settled in quite well to WSL 1, so they should have confidence.
Carter. Potter. Formerly of Everton, signed for Birmingham 2009, but has been dispossessed in a dangerous area here. It's Fletcher who has it, supported by Stobbs. He's down under the challenge from Carter as we approach the 10-minute mark in Solihull.
I think it was Potter who lost it. She didn't really have any players showing. She probably needed to get it out wide right. As soon as Fletcher gets on it, she's busy. She's trying to find an opening for a cross, and in the end, it was Carter that fouled it. There's an opportunity for Reading now from a set piece.
They've got plenty forward for this as well. The Royals. Busy inside that box as it's swung in by Shelley Cox. Dealt with relative ease really by Birmingham at the back. So delighted the Blues with their last result, that 1-0 win at Notts County. Emily Westwood with the only goal. Got to say, no mean feat keeping that Magpies forward line of Yankee, White and Clark quiet, but they did it.
Yeah, it's a good result for them. I thought after the Liverpool game that we watched at Notts County, it'd go on and start winning games, but this shows the strength of the Birmingham side, that they can beat them 1-0, keep a clean sheet as well.
But in a dangerous area here by Birmingham City. It's Lawley, just tried to bend one. You could see what she was trying to do, but got underneath it somewhat.
One of a couple of players up front that Birmingham will want to get on the ball. Mel Lawley, clever, quick feet, not quite as powerful as Aisi, but she's very clever. Just see her side to there, right foot curler, too far over Earps' bar, but they need to get her on the ball a little bit more.
We're just mentioning how Birmingham beat Notts County in their last game. Well, he's a glutton for punishment, Rick Passmore, a man that you know well, has decided to come and watch them in action again tonight.
See, how professional is he coming to watch and scout teams that he's going to be playing? He's just shouted up at me. It's something rude, I would presume.
He's quite a character. It was good to meet him after their victory over Liverpool, another game that we covered live on BT Sport just recently. They've been a little bit Jekyll and Hyde, haven't they, Notts County? Could say that about more than one or two sides in the WSL this season.
Yeah, they just want to get the consistent at being inconsistent, and I think that's something that Rick wants to change about his team, because he has got really, really good players and they should be up near the top of the league, and it's frustrating when they produce fantastic results like against Liverpool and then lose against Birmingham, but that's the way this league goes, and that's why it's so competitive.
Stringer finds Pepler. There's good movement up top from Birmingham City. Just need to find a bit more cutting edge in the final third. They might do it here. Harrop with Aisi in support, able to turn and get the shot in as well. Good move.
I think the block was by Barchip, and that's what Frida Aisi can do. Receive the ball in a good position, shift the ball really quickly to the side to try and get a sighter on goal. Good turn. Great defending by Reading. It's that Harrop needs to get down this left-hand side into that space, but again, the good turn by Aisi, blocked by Barchip, and she did a job there as a centre-half.
I heard Casey Stoney before the game highlighting how dangerous Birmingham can be from Joe Potter set pieces, but she's decided to take that one short, gets Aisi involved again. It's Wallace there first for Reading. Really good technical player, so confident on and composed as well on the ball. Stringer.
Just think this game, just the tempo needs to be raised a little bit by both teams. Birmingham started just a little bit quicker, but Reading have a little bit more of the ball.
Fletcher, it is who gave chase and got there as well. Walkley is central. That's really well defended by the teenager, Jess Carter.
I do like Jess Carter. Usually plays as a full-back, either right or left, playing the left side of these three centre-halves. She's very strong, athletic, difficult to get past, and as Melissa Fletcher was seen there.
Really impressive that Jess Carter is making her 32nd WSL appearance tonight at the age of just 18, made her debut at 16. It was actually in the Champions League against Arsenal, that was. A 2-0 victory, ever present this season and last in the WSL. Jane. Turn was by Hines. Nicely done by Cox. Takes it around Stringer. Has Follis in support. Always looking to cut in from that left-hand side, Emma Follis. Time and space for Rebecca Jane here. Plays the 1-2 as well. Good build-up play this by the Royals. Melissa Fletcher sliding in there with Carter, who's having a fine game at the back.
Yeah, Birmingham have just let Reading just slip into some sort of rhythm. Good passing there. In the end, it needed Jess Carter to make that real important sliding tackle. Good defensive duties shown there by her.
Stringer. That's great feet. Free kick as well for Birmingham. Reading, by the way, one of 3 sides yet to win this season in the WSL. The others being Sunderland and Doncaster. She's fairly relaxed about it, though. Lucy, speaking to Kelly Chambers before the game, clearly feels that it is going to come sooner rather than later. And I think it's the performance levels generally they seem pretty content with.
Yeah, and they've picked up points as well. They've got draws and they've performed against some of the good teams, and I think that will help the team's confidence, and they just know that the win will come at some point. And she's hoping tonight, but you know, she's quite confident that the team will achieve that pretty quickly.
Jane's pass. Stops. The early ball in was watched wide by Sophie Bagley.
When Reading get the ball and switch it out wide quickly, it does cause a problem for Birmingham. It means the wing-backs have to get back and string it. And Keris Harrop, they're just outnumbering Birmingham at the back.
As much as they are relaxed about getting that first win, Reading, you'd think it is so important psychologically as much as anything else that they get it soon. I imagine it would be a significant landmark for Kelly Chambers and her players, and of course they go into a mid-season break, Lucy, after this too.
Yeah, just for team confidence, it's pretty easy to get into a run in this league and find yourself near the bottom or near the top, whether it's a winning or losing one. She'll know her team needs to start winning.
Lawley's pass. Harrop just unable to keep it in.
See, the wing-backs for Birmingham really need to play 60-40 forward rather than defending, and I think Keris Harrop is rather worried about this right-hand side of Reading and the attacking ways. She's usually defensively minded anyway. She'll play centre-half or she'll play full-back, but she has played wing-back in her career before. Just needs to push on, just give that option out wide for Birmingham.
Lawley, an England under-23 international, signed from Bristol in February of 2013. She's starting out at Arsenal. Indeed has Champions League experience with both Arsenal and Birmingham. I was talking to David Parker, the Birmingham coach, before the game. It was two things really shone through. One, his passion for the club, the hours that he puts in, and also the fact that he believes very passionately that they will get back pretty soon to the level that they were at a couple of years ago, playing Champions League football, challenging for the title.
Yeah, there is a process in place in Birmingham, and a lot of it involves bringing younger players through. You know, they're not the type of team that bring big hitters in, you know, from other countries particularly, or on high wages. What they do is they develop their own, and he knows that if he can keep this group together, they're only going to get better and get themselves back up where they used to be not too long ago.
Long searching ball, the header down was a good one. Almost getting to it was Charlie Wellings.
I don't think Wellings expected that, but Emily Westwood got herself up there, and great little nod down for Wellings.
Westwood. This is Carter. Potter. Good movement here from Aisi. He's got away from the first challenge. What's the pass like? Tried to just squeeze it through. It's broken here for Potter. Now Reading can look to counter here with Stobbs. Just preventing her going on the outside there, but that's very relaxed goalkeeping by Bagley, and she's got herself in all sorts of trouble here. The shot was by Rachel Rowe. Well, they've really had a let-off there at the back. Goalkeeper who's been quite rightly been earning rave reviews just recently for some of her performances, Sophie Bagley. She was outstanding in the last game, that victory at Notts County, but all a bit complacent at the back there. But at the other end now, a real opportunity here for Wellings, who's got Aisi in support. Looks for Aisi, who's done really well. End-to-end stuff.
Yeah, just needed a little bit better movement there. Wellings was running into Aisi's space and vice versa. Just needed one to run across him just a little bit earlier. But Birmingham a little bit dodgy at the back there. Bagley, who is a great young goalkeeper with excellent potential, but Aisi had a chance there for Birmingham to get themselves in front.
Wellings with the layoff. Stringer. Mannion. Flick on was by Lawley. Carter. Harrop's pass. Across comes McGee, the captain, and finds Jane. Potter quickly trying to win it back for Birmingham. Our next live WSL action comes from Staines next Wednesday. The champions Chelsea host struggling Sunderland. Our coverage begins at 7:15, that on BT Sport 1 and BT Sport 1 HD. Carter. Walkley's pass. Just maybe chose the wrong option. Let's tell you about some more live football that we have coming up. Huge game. The FA Cup final almost upon us. Crystal Palace against Manchester United is live from 5:15 on Saturday. That on BT Sport 2 and in 4K via our Ultra HD channel, one not to be missed. Potter. Of course, as well, it's the non-league finals day this Sunday, and we are right across all the action. First, the FA Vars, Hereford FC against Morpeth Town, both clubs making their first ever appearances at the National Stadium. And after that, as well, we have the FA Trophy final, newly promoted Grimsby, who've just gone up from the National League, against Halifax Town, who've just been relegated from it. That from 3:15, also available, by the way, in 4K on our Ultra HD channel. Really are at the business end of the season, aren't we? Jane.
Birmingham they're a bit exposed. The back three of Birmingham are a little bit exposed. Either Peplow or Joe Potter needs to sit in front of that back three. It's too easy for Reading to get through and get on top of the back three of Birmingham. And that's where they're getting the joy at the moment, as well as in the wide areas.
To say it's been impressive how Birmingham have recovered from what was a difficult start to the season for them. They lost their opening 2 league matches, 1-0 away at Liverpool, 2-0 at home against Manchester City, but they've responded by going 3 games unbeaten now, and they've won 2 of them. And this looks like being a real test for Blues tonight, despite with having home advantage. Maybe third from bottom in the league, Reading still looking for their first win, but you wouldn't know it from watching them play. They're not playing like a side who are low on confidence.
No, definitely not. Like we said, last season was a winning season for them. They won more games than they lost, so they're going to come into the WSL, full of confidence, and it's going to take a lot to knock that confidence. And I think they've started and they've picked up points, and they've got some good players in there, so they'll expect to come to Birmingham and put up a fight and get a point or 3 points.
It's a Reading defence that came up against Beth Mead last time out. Couldn't keep out last season's top scorer, but the Royals' back line was only breached once. They'll have gained great experience from that test. The club very much learning the ropes at this level as they go on, finding their feet, finding their way. Harrott's pass. Jane. Rachel Rowe it was in that advanced position but couldn't be found.
Every time Birmingham have had a goal kick, they've played it really short, just outside the area to one of the defenders. And if I was Reading, you got to press high here. You got to stop them from getting out from the back. It's pretty easy to do, and if you win it there, you've got a chance. There you go again. It's gone short. Got to press quicker, stop Birmingham getting out, and you get a shot on goal pretty soon after winning it back, I'm sure.
It's a heavy first touch from Aisi. Mannion got there before Follis. Headed by Peplow. And from talking to David Parker, the Birmingham head coach, he's a huge fan of Peplow. Said to me that she will be a star, just 17 years old.
Forget how young this Birmingham team is, or some of them in it, because they're playing in WSL 1. You expect them to. I don't think that was particularly intention from Follis on Emily Westwood. The referee deemed it a foul.
Harrop. gone for the return here and gets it off Wellings as well. Jane really stuck to her task.
That's better from Harrop. Got in a good position behind Jane, but Becky Jane recovered well. So he gets beyond Becky Jane, but she's a tough competitor. A lot of experience in women's football. Good fullback.
Keris Harrop, who we saw trying to take it down the left there, has been an ever-present in all 5 WSL seasons with Birmingham. Some effort there. Carter with the long throw in. Force behind for a corner.
I think a goal will liven this game up. That's what we say a lot of the time. We need our first goal. Maybe we'll get it here at this set piece for Birmingham.
Very little in the way of goal-scoring opportunities so far. They are, as we've highlighted, a threat from set pieces, Birmingham, usually. Took the last one short, Potter. Aisi offering that option again. Opens up the angle for the cross, and it wasn't bad either. Mannion. All the way back here for Sophie Bagley, who is an England under-19 international.
It's twice now that Birmingham have tried that corner, and it's worked because Aisi's got that much pace. She just knocks it past the defender and runs, and they need to rethink that, Reading, and double up on it.
Potter's found a bit of space here. It's quickly closed down though. Clearance by the captain, McGee. Mannion. And now Carter. Harrop. Lacey makes something of it, calmly dealt with by McGee at the back. Also a full-time community coach at her former club, Portsmouth, Kirsty McGee. And acts as Birmingham's club secretary. She's a very busy lady. Lawley. Stringer. Mannion gets it wide. Just asked too much of Lawley.
Just need a little bit more quality going forward from both teams. She'll be happy. The starter team made, but need to be able to create more goal-scoring opportunities.
She certainly knows Reading inside out. Kelly Chambers, having come through the club centre of excellence herself once upon a time. It's Lawley. Did take a deflection on the way through. Took the sting out of it, really, from Lawley. Well, one back here by Stringer. Gets Lawley involved once more. Aisi pointed where she wanted it. Might yet get it. Welling's getting involved, as is Harrop. Starting to threaten here, Birmingham City, but Reading deal with it once more at the back. Fletcher, it is who gives chase. Cross came Emily Westwood and finds Carter.
See, that's what happens when you put the ball into the box. It causes confusion, it puts defenders under pressure, and it's just not happened enough for either side in this game so far.
Potter. Reading and Doncaster, the two clubs promoted from the second tier last season, currently occupy 2 of the bottom 3 places in the top flight. Sunderland, who were promoted in 2014, currently second from bottom. As we were saying to Kelly Chambers before the game, Lucy, it isn't easy making that leap from the second tier, is it?
No, it isn't, and you don't want to be the team that goes down, and the longer you go without winning or getting points on the board, then you're just putting pressure on yourselves. So both Donny and Reading will be hoping that Sunderland capitulate and vice versa. So what you've got to do is concentrate on yourself and make sure that you're getting the points and putting the performances in as well.
Reading's turn to try and threaten. Stops. Tries to get that early ball in. It was hit by Walkley. Reading and Doncaster were comfortably the two best teams in the second tier last season, finished level on 45 points, 14 ahead of their nearest challengers, Everton and Yeovil. We're used to winning, Reading. Jane with the throw-in. Calmly taken down by Stringer. Aisi. First time ball by Cox to Follis. Hines plays it wide to Cox. Now Rowe. And Follis. Finds space ever so well. The number 7, Emma Follis. Stops. I want to see the deadlock broken before half-time here. Stringer for Birmingham City. Carter finds Potter.
Keep it this side, keep it this side, keep it this
Westwood.
side. Yeah,
Now Mannion. As you're probably aware, there is another game going on in the WSL right now, huge for the top of the table, and Manchester City through Demi Stokes have taken the lead in Staines against Chelsea. Two sides with 100% records going into that. Manchester City top.
Clash of the Titans, that one. See how Chelsea recover from the cup final. Second best in the cup final, but they'll want to kick on and make sure that they don't hand Man City an advantage at this stage in the season.
One or perhaps both will drop points for the first time this season. At the moment, it's Manchester City with the lead in that one. Here's Emma Follis. Has looked the standout player on the pitch so far and has picked out Stobbs. It's just been forced wide, but still gets a good cross in towards Fletcher. Hines sends it into a dangerous area, and it was straight at the goalkeeper, Sophie Bagley. Decent effort though.
Yeah, not only is she technically good, Follis, but she gets herself and pops up in really, really good positions, whether it's running with the ball or you see there, just on the end of a long speculative ball. She had the technique to get the volley on target. Good play.
I have to say, in terms of technical ability, she's got the best player on the pitch so far tonight. Aisi. Potter, who's also played well so far. Headed by McGee, and it's fallen here for Keris Harrop. He wanted the movement from Aisi and it never came.
A standout play, Follis. She had made a run just before that, but that's a speculative ball, but she managed to keep her eye on it. Westwood, it missed. It's good technique, but she just couldn't get the direction on it. Still concerned Bagley a little bit.
Reading offering a threat there, but goals continue to be a problem for Birmingham, the lowest scorers in last season's WSL. Even Bristol City, who finished 5 points adrift at the bottom, scored 5 more than them. And they have failed to score in 4 of their last 6 league matches. Just wonder how David Parker begins to address that, Lucy, because they haven't created a great deal so far tonight.
No, and they've shifted the formation a little bit. Pepler's gone on that right-hand side next to Westwood. They knew that Reading were getting on top in terms of the 3 at the back. And they've just shifted along a little bit just to try to contain Follis down that left-hand side, I think.
Rowe. Should be a comfortable take for Bagley. Birmingham City looking to become only the second club to beat newly promoted Reading in the league this season. Just Arsenal have managed it so far. And they look dangerous here, but Laura Walkley got right underneath that.
Reading have just got a little bit better shape than Birmingham. It gives them options wide and straight on going forward, and also when they lose it in transition, they've got a little bit of balance as well. They just look to have that better shape, and probably the change that Birmingham have made hopefully will resolve that problem for Birmingham.
Wallace. Good run forward down the right-hand side by Jane, but wasn't seen by Kaylee Hines. He's got in a great position, actually, the right back. Aisi. One back here by Rachel Rowe. It's a real determination about Reading here. Sense maybe that they could take the lead before half-time. That's a good ball in as well. Jane to strike it. That was ambitious, and it was off target.
It was worth a go by Becky Jane, but I don't know if she scored that many in her career. But she was determined to strike that first time. She got good connection with it, just not the direction.
Wasn't ever present last season. He's played every minute in 2016, Becky Jane. Represented England from under-17s up to under-23s. Used to be on the books at Chelsea, actually. McGee there first. Jane with the clearance for Reading. This is Keris Harrop. It's, for once, a little bit loose from Carter. Stobbs. Just the wrong side of Rachel Rowe. They've lost a bit of momentum, looking to regain it here, though. Jane again with an intelligent run down the right-hand side. Needs a good delivery, though. Just ran into traffic, really, but has managed somehow to keep it going. Reading on top at the minute.
There they are. Like I said, they've got better shape. Birmingham have made that switch, but haven't really got on the ball to put Reading under pressure. They just need to make it count and try and get themselves a goal whilst they're on top.
Should they not register their first league win tonight, Reading, they'll have to wait until July at the earliest. That mid-season break that's coming up for them. The greatest of balls by Carter to Bagley. It's the Royals' last competitive outing until they entertain Arsenal in the Continental Cup on the 2nd of July. Next league game is away at Liverpool on the 9th of July. Cross by Walkley. Stobbs. Hines. Off target in the end, Hines, but the approach play has been pretty good by Reading. It's just finding that killer touch in the final third.
Yeah, they're getting the wall and winning it further up the pitch, going forward in numbers. The balance is good of their shape. But that last shot, somebody just needs to get a hold of the ball, put that shot on target. All this dominance, get them 1-0 up in this game.
When you talk about Reading needing a goal, needing that little bit of cutting edge, I'm sure that they would love to have Helen Ward on the pitch, or at least her teammates might do on the bench tonight. Looks set up to be the sort of game that she could come on and really affect.
Yeah, you might tend to think she might have some sort of knock while she's not playing. She's prolific. Probably could have scored a couple of the chances that Reading have created tonight, but sat on the bench as it at this moment in time. Maybe come on, score the goal later in the game.
He's scored 2 goals so far this season. The Royals' top scorer used to be at Arsenal. She was a title winner and indeed an FA Cup winner as well, Helen Ward. I loved her personal description of herself as a scorer of 3-yard worldies.
They all count. All it says is your name underneath it, what time you scored, not what it looked like. Sorry, ask Casey Stoney that. She scored one from about half a yard away and pretended it was a worldie.
Follis using her pace. Chased down by Carter, who's no slouch herself. I think we've seen in this first half why she's so highly rated, Jess Carter.
She's the type of player that could play anywhere as well. Jess Carter, see how quick she gets back, and she makes those challenges. The timing of the challenges are important as well. She's done one already in her own penalty area, not giving a penalty away, and she has the confidence to attempt them.
Put out of play by Potter.
It's just a shout from Jo Potter there to Frida to come on, and she should be ready for those sort of balls forward. You've got to anticipate as a forward when the ball's going to come up to you, and at the moment Birmingham need to shift themselves up the pitch as quickly as possible when the ball goes dead. They're not managing this game properly, and they're getting caught at the back by Reading because they're sitting and they're not pushing up the pitch as they should do.
It's been a pretty frustrating first half, particularly for the home side. Reading looking the more likely to break the deadlock. Through the legs of Stringer. Jane. Hines looking to turn. Laura Walkley brought down just as she was threatening to burst away there. It was a little late, that challenge by Rowe. The referee's allowed the advantage. Aisi. I want to see the deadlock broken before half-time. Just 2 minutes until the interval. Harrop getting forward here. Jess Carter. One of these teams finish the first 45 with a flurry. It's Mannion here for Blues. Stringer. Westwood. Another telegraph the pass to Potter. It was well intercepted by Rachel Rowe. And gets it back again here. He's looking to provide an injection of pace. It's Mannion who gets it clear for Birmingham City. Actually born in Solihull. Eva Mannion. And she calls home. Played Gaelic football as a youngster, I'm told. Multi-talented. Here's Follis for Reading.
She just drifted offside down that left-hand side. This is opportunity now for Birmingham to get themselves up the pitch. You see there, well offside, just drifted.
Just waiting to see how much added time there will be at the end of this first 45 minutes. You wouldn't think too much. Slice clearance by Emily Westwood. McGee just looking to guide it back here to Mary Earps, who's retained her place in goal, again preferred to Grace Maloney, who'd started the first 4 matches. There's confirmation those 60 seconds to be added on.
Run beyond, run beyond, run beyond. Good girl, in there.
Follis. The block by Carter. Comes across here though for Amber Stobbs.
Just trying to be too precise really. Stobbs perhaps could have had a shot on goal. Just trying to thread it through. And Bagley quick off a line, making sure she was first to the ball.
They'll certainly want to get the likes of Aisi and Lawley and Wellings more involved in that final third. Birmingham in the second half. Westwood has been robbed of possession here by Follis right at the end of the first half, and grabbed at the third attempt in the end by Sophie Bagley. And it's the last act of the first half where I'd have to say really that chances have been at a premium, but if anyone's looked likely to break the deadlock, it has been Reading's Emma Follis, the standout player of the first half in Solihull. But at half-time, there's nothing between them. It is Birmingham City 0, Reading 0.
Time here at the
Welcome back to Birmingham. It's half-time here in the WSL. We've had the Women's FA Cup. Casey Stoney here is still beaming from that win on Saturday. This Saturday, though, it's the Men's FA Cup weekend. A repeat of the 1990 Cup final. Crystal Palace taking on Manchester United, and that is on from 4:45 on BT Sport. It is 0-0 here between Birmingham and Reading. Casey Stoney and Sue Smith with us. Sue, your verdict on the first half?
I think it's been quite even. I think possession-wise, probably both teams have kept the ball quite well, but there's not been that many chances created. I think probably that Reading have probably created the better of the chances. I think there's been a few key players that we could pick out. I think Follis, we picked her out, Emma Follis, before the game, and I think Aisi for Birmingham, but there's not been that many clear-cut chances.
No. There's been a few talking points, though,
Yes.
a few, and the first one was it or wasn't it a penalty, Casey?
I'm going to say no. It's decent play by Birmingham to get in the final third, but I think Jo Potter just leaves her leg there to be caught. You know, at first I thought penalty, but looking back at it, no, it's not a penalty. No.
Could a player have been punished there slightly? Maybe have escaped punishment? Do you think?
Well, I think if he deems it a dive, then it's got to be a yellow card, I suppose. But we looked at it from up top in the stands, and we both said penalty straight away. But when we've watched it again, neither of us thought it was.
So no from the girls down here. You did say Reading, though, had perhaps more of the chances, more opportunities to score, didn't they, through that first half?
Yeah, I think they did, and this was a chance. This was quite fortuitous how it actually arrived, and you think probably had a little bit more time. That, you know, as the ball rebounds to her, could she have maybe took a touch? If she was left-footed, probably would have been a little bit easier for her to have had a go. But that was a decent chance. And then here, I think this is a fantastic ball by Hines, whipped in, and what a technique from Follis. And I think we spoke, didn't we? If it had gone anywhere other than the goalkeeper, it probably would have been a goal. But excellent effort, I thought.
Yeah, definitely. I think Reading, if I'm honest, I think they've been on top. They've grown into the game and put in Birmingham under a lot of pressure. I think Birmingham's quality in the final third has not been good enough. They haven't got their midfield high up enough to support their front two. I think it's crying out for Remy Allen to come on the pitch and support that front two and get an advance.
So Kelly Chambers will be the happier of the two managers, you think, at half-time?
Yeah, I think she'll say, keep doing what you're doing. You're creating chances. Now we've got to take one. I think if they're clinical in the final third, they could come away tonight with a win.
Well, let me give you an update, because we do have another WSL game taking place. It was an earlier kick-off in Staines between Chelsea and Manchester City, and I can tell you it is now 2-0 to Manchester City. So we'll keep you updated throughout the evening, and this is what it does to the table as it stands. Manchester City then still top, and Chelsea, could they be about to drop their first points of the season? Real tough game there down in Staines, Sue.
It really is, and it's difficult after the FA Cup final as well. And it was like, how are Chelsea going to react from the defeat? And I think when they went a goal down, how are they going to react? Were they going to come back? And to go 2 goals down now, it's going to show. It's going to take a lot of character. And I'm sure, you know, that they'll be talking amongst themselves, and they've got a lot of experience in that team. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do come back. But I do think Manchester City will probably have the edge tonight.
Back here then, Casey, what do you think David Parker will be saying in the dressing room? Do you think he could change things?
Yeah, I think they need to make some changes. I don't think they're looking after the ball in the final third, and they're not getting it up there quick enough. You know, it seems that they're getting it into the front two, no one's joining in with them, so they're very, very isolated. So whether he brings Remy Allen on to support the front two, whether he tells his midfield that at least one of them's got to get higher up to support, and they've got to press Reading. Reading are playing the ball round them at times. They've got to win it, and then they've got to play forward quickly.
Okay. Who will break the deadlock? It is 0-0 here in Solihull between Birmingham City ladies and Reading women. The second half is coming up after this break. Second half about to get underway in just a few moments. Quick reminder though, for everything wrapped up in the women's game, and head to WSL Social. That is on Sunday at midnight on BT Sport 1 HD. Just a quick reminder that Manchester City are winning at Chelsea. At top of the table clash there. Demi Stokes put them ahead, and then right after the break it was a Jennifer Beattie deflected goal, so that puts them 2-0 ahead in Staines. Casey and Sue still with us. I suppose for these two, Sue, they've not played each other before, but after that first half you'd think Reading would have the confidence now coming out in the second half.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's what they'll have said it at half time. Pretty much do this same sort of thing. You've been creating chances, just be more clinical in front of goal, and I think pass the ball to Emma Follis, because I think she's been excellent when she's got the ball. She looks lively, she looks like she's wanting to get forward and make things happen.
Casey, it looks like Birmingham are going to make a couple of changes, and they've got a real opportunity to move into the top three as well.
Yeah, I'm pleased to see they've made a double change. They brought on Jade Moore and Remy Allen, and just to get that midfield working a bit more, and I assume to get Remy Allen higher up to support the forwards and get that ball in the attacking third with a bit of quality.
Let's get back to commentary then for the second half. Lucy Ward and Adam Somerton.
Thank you, Natalie. An important 45 minutes ahead for both of these sides. Birmingham with the opportunity, remember, to go third. Although they haven't looked like a team in that first half who could be as high as that in the table, I have to say, without being too critical, are capable of much better. The Blues have been showing that in recent weeks as well, unbeaten in their last three and have won 2 of them. Reading, remember, still looking for their first league win of the season. But Lucy Ward, at half-time, we've seen those 2 changes made by David Parker, and would suggest he wasn't happy with what he saw in the first half.
No, and anybody who's watched Birmingham over the last few seasons know that Jade Moore and Remy Allen are 2 of their best players. So, it's a pretty obvious change because they weren't playing particularly well, they weren't creating chances, and, the shape looked a little bit disrupted. So now they've got to perform, and I think with those 2 playing, I think they've gone into a 4-4-2 and probably managed Reading's shape a little bit better too.
It's particularly good, I have to say, to see Jade Moore getting on the pitch. Has had plenty of injury problems, ankle injury and a knee injury too. It's a really positive start here to the second half by Birmingham City. The ball came in from Lawley. Miscontrol by Mel Fletcher. There's intent about the home side in the early stages here. Layoff by Follis. Just wonder whether the game could open up a little bit in the second half. Was cagey at times in that first 45. Clearance by Westwood.
I think what Moore and Remy Allen will add is a little bit of more intensity and energy and effort, and get Birmingham playing that little bit quicker.
There is a competition for places as well at Birmingham, despite the lengthy injury list that they have right now. Just a problem momentarily for Bartrip. He looks to be okay, the England under-19 international.
Can't help but think that Birmingham won't play as badly in the second half as they did in the first. So I mean Reading will rue some of the chances that they could have created and be a little bit more composure in the final third.
It's a real big priority for Birmingham this season to be better at home. They only won once on their own patch in the 2015 WSL, that 1-0 against Liverpool on the 26th of July. Took just 7 points from a possible 21 at home. They've beaten Doncaster here so far this season, looking for their second home win of the campaign tonight. Cox with the throw-in. Westwood trying to win it back, as was Moore, but the free kick goes the Royals' way. Taken by Follis. Hines. And now McGee, who's pressurised by Lawley. Certainly a greater intensity about Birmingham in these early stages of the second half. Calmly done by Earps. First time ball by Cox to Follis. Just showed a little too much of that to Mannion, but they've kept possession here, Reading. Melissa Fletcher, with teammates arriving in the area. Still has it here. Fletcher now finds Hines. That's really nicely done by the central midfielder who gets the shot in. Comfortable take for Bagley. by their own admission, still adjusting to football at top flight level with the transition from the second tier. With their players going from part-time to full-time, and they have defending to do here. It's Lawley and Aisi arriving in the middle. Heavy first touch that hasn't quite lived up to her promising reputation tonight so far, Aisi.
Yeah, great ball from Jade Moore to Lawley, and then when she first looked up, there was nobody in the middle, so she had to pick a good ball out, which she did, and Aisi just didn't make the right touch. Maybe a first-time strike would have been a better option, but just allowed Shelley Cox to get back and clear the ball.
Came through the Arsenal Centre of Excellence, Frida Aisi, won the 2014 FA Cup with them. Carter with the long throw-in. Oh, knee shot coming in. Just seemed to get some whip on it, the effort from Walkley. Aisi. Nice turn by Rowe, intercepted here by Stringer. Rowe looking to stretch the play here. Mannion getting across for Birmingham City.
That's what will happen as the game goes along, but it will get stretched and hopefully it'll create opportunities for both teams. I predicted there'll be loads of goals tonight, so that's probably why it was 0-0 at half-time, but both teams can perform a little bit better in the final third in this second half.
Carter. Aisi just beaten to it.
Still gaps down either flank. Birmingham's defensive third on the outside of each of those three centre backs, and again that's where Reading need to put the ball. We've seen how well that Follis played in the first half, and you've expected her to get on the ball a little bit more in those wide areas.
Mannion. Still looking for that first WSL win, but there have been signs that they're not too far away. They've drawn 3 of their last 4 league matches. They've also scored in all 5 WSL matches this season. Certainly appear to be moving in the right direction under Kelly Chambers.
They knew they were going to have a higher intensity Birmingham side at the start of the second half, and they seem to have weathered that storm a little bit.
Here's Follis. The offside flag had gone up.
So if that was offside, it's criminal for a wide player to be caught offside. They can see all the way down the line at the assistant referee. And she looks from that angle. To me, that's the linesman who's going to see that as offside. Like I say, it's not something that you want to see from your wide players, because they can see right down the line of the defensive 3 of Birmingham.
Good header by Bartrip.
Birmingham need Aisi to really put pressure on 2 centre halves of Reading. Those little balls that are played over the top there, she's got to chase, she's got to work hard.
Hines put under pressure. No nonsense clearance by McGee.
You see that from Jade Moore, that tackle from Jade Moore just makes everybody play at that higher intensity. And it's a great challenge from her there. It just makes your team play better. She's infectious, Jade Moore. She gets people playing, and just needs more of that from the rest of her teammates.
Clearance here by Bagley. Has already played more league matches than she did in the whole of last season.
She had a couple of moments of indecision in the first half, but you can see her qualities as a keeper. I know they have high hopes for it here, and also England level as well.
Says she was outstanding in the recent win over Notts County. Got plenty of praise from David Parker afterwards. There's Jess Carter again, who was so good in that first half. Birmingham looking to go long this time. It's Cox who allows it to run out of play here for a Reading throw-in. Shelley Cox, who missed most of last season after having a baby boy, Austin. Birmingham are actually among her former clubs, also played for Doncaster, Bristol and Leeds as well.
She must be about 100 because she played with me at Leeds, Shelley Cox. Not quite as old as Sue Smith, I don't think.
31.
Relative, she must have been about 12 then. Yeah, good left back, lots of experience, and that's something that Reading will utilise during this season, the first season in WSL 1.
They do have a good blend in that respect, Reading. Molly Bartlett in the defence, 19 years old, but alongside her, Kirsty McGee, who's 29, the captain. Becky Jane, 24. And 10 minutes gone in this second half. There's been a greater intensity about Birmingham, but they're still not really creating too much. Remains a very even contest.
Yeah, they've better shape this half, Birmingham. Reading need to try and exploit the space in behind as Birmingham have shifted their shape further up the pitch.
This is a really good one. Had to be watched over by Earps.
It's definitely something that Kerris Harrop didn't intend to score a goal from that. It's just worth putting the ball in the area from that left-hand side. The wind might have helped a bit. And Earps just had to keep an eye on it. Just make sure she covered it with one hand. It landed on the roof of the net, but that's the first sighting of goal for Birmingham this half properly.
She probably would have expected to be a little busier away from home against Birmingham, Mary Earps. He was an ever-present for relegated Bristol last season, the Reading goalkeeper. Follis. Lee Stringer here to take the throw in for Birmingham. He started out at Coventry, then went to Aston Villa's centre of excellence. That one of several former Aston Villa players on the pitch today.
Tonight's attendance at the Automated Technology Group Stadium is 395. 395. Thank you for your support.
That's by Cox.
Birmingham City Ladies FC.
The introduction of Lauren Bruton is imminent for Reading.
And all I can think, Adam, is that Helen Ward has some sort of injury. I think Reading need a goal. And they're not quite putting her on yet. Bruton, great experience.
It doesn't look as though they're going to be able to get her on here before this free kick. Sent in there by Stobbs. Header clear was by Carter.
She's got to anticipate that little ball there by Becky Jane. It's a good ball into an area just beyond that defensive line of Birmingham, but nobody was quick to respond to it from Reading. Those are things that they just need to be aware of, especially in tight games where it's 0-0, and something clever like that can break the deadlock.
And here comes that change then, with Lauren Bruton coming on. England under-23 international replaces Walkley. Started with Arsenal. Lauren Bruton joined them at the age of 14, made her debut for the Gunners at 16, was part of the under-19 England side that won the European Championships at that level in 2009. Straight into the thick of the action as well, was challenged by Mannion.
Yeah, Bruton's got lots of pedigree in the women's game, lots of experience. And again, you look at her being on the bench, eyebrows raised, same as Helen Ward, but she's got to come on and she prove a point. Come on and score a goal.
Still looking for her first league goal of the season, Lauren Bruton. Into a good area, held on to though by Sophie Bagley.
I'm impressed with Rachel Rowe, she's busy in that midfield. She's quite happy to try and get on the end of it.
Easy, able to beat Bartrick to it. But we'll get another opportunity here, the Birmingham City forward. That's a fantastic cross as well. And it comes out to the edge of the area. The shot is off target from Jade Moore. Good opportunity there.
She's smiling, she's not well known for it. Super efforts on goal and goals from outside the area. But you can see her name in lights here. She just got underneath the ball. It's a good corner in. She got on the end of it, Rachel Rowe. She's a determined character.
Just perhaps tells you the strength and depth that they're developing at Birmingham, particularly with so many good youngsters coming through, that they're able to bring on someone like Jade Moore, who was part of the England squad at the World Cup, played in 6 of the 7 games. Referee's allowed an advantage here. It's with Lawley.
I think that's Remy Allen on the ball. Just a clash of heads there. Kayleigh Hines. Well, the referee, I'm surprised, actually didn't stop the game straight away. As soon as there's a head injury, that's what you're supposed to do. It's not like Remy Allen to go down and stay down. He's done well tonight, the referee. She's not like me to say anything about good about referees, but good, strong refereeing. He's let the game flow as well.
Wayne Barrett it is who's the official tonight. Plenty of National League experience in the men's game. Also been an assistant as high this season, I believe, as the Championship. Let's try to let it flow as much as possible.
Well, the thing is, we've not talked about him, which means that he's been good, apart from that particular bit. We'll let him off.
Just had that one big decision, which was pretty early on in the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's obviously experienced enough ref to just to see what Jo Potter was trying to do. I don't think it was particularly a dive, but she's trying to create that penalty situation, and he was in a good position to see it.
Follis. Clearance by Cox. There's a good ball here to Bruton. And out comes the goalkeeper. Just about stayed in the area there, Bagley. Great awareness.
A good bit of quality from Lauren Bruton there. Good ball in there, and a little knock over the top. Bagley was equal to it. She made a good decision. She was going to retreat back into a goal, but she just saw that that was within her grasp and got herself out there to claim the ball.
Good to see Remy Allen back on. Seems okay as well. Helped forward by Follis. And the goalkeeper's come out and was a little too slow to react, and what a wonderful challenge that is. Potentially goal-saving as well. Harrop sliding in, could yet still be an opportunity. Bruton, good ball in. Just about kept out again by Birmingham City. Reading threatening.
A couple of really good opportunities for Reading there, first from Stobbs. I talked about Bagley's decision-making in the first half, and that's the thing, that's why keepers get better as they get older, and she waits and waits and waits for this ball, and it just gives Stobbs that opportunity to get in there. But that's terrific defending by Harrop, and that's what happens when you've got quite a few defenders in different positions on the pitch. At left back, she can play at centre half, but she was there to cover. That's great positioning by Harrop.
Sensed the danger, moves quickly across. Harrop been a little stop-start, hasn't it, the game in this second half, struggling to find a rhythm. But here's that opportunity. Just wouldn't come down quickly enough for the goalkeeper, would it?
It wouldn't. If you see Harrop there, she's just got a foot to it. That's a real clean tackle. Bagley was quite happy that Harrop was there to save her.
And just while we have this break in play, let's tell you about our next live WSL action, which comes from Staines. Next Wednesday, the champions Chelsea host struggling Sunderland. Our coverage begins at 7:15. The FA Cup final's almost upon us. Crystal Palace against Manchester United is live from 4:45 on Saturday, then on BT Sport 2 and in 4K via our Ultra HD channel. And we're right across non-league finals day this weekend. 2 games in one day from Wembley. First up is the FA Vars final, Hereford FC against Morpeth Town. Both clubs playing at the National Stadium for the first time in their histories. And then it's newly promoted Grimsby, who won the playoff final at Wembley last weekend against Halifax Town, who have just been relegated from the National League. That's in the FA Trophy final. Should be a fantastic day of action there. Fletcher having to limp away here.
Now this is if Fletcher can't continue, an opportunity for Reading to replace like for like with Ward, and we'll see whether Ward really is the preferred option up front from the bench.
2 o'clock kick-off against Notts County.
Obviously seems to think that maybe she can run it off eventually, having to go off having received treatment in order to be able to come on again. Melissa Fletcher. She's having an impact. Lauren Bruton starting that move. Fletcher with its shot. Well saved by Bagley, but again it's good build-up play by Reading, who are certainly offering a threat and looking the more likely to get the opener.
Yeah, just getting the noses in front now. Reading has had a sniff at goal the last couple of times, the last 5 minutes, and she's really struggling, I think, Fletcher, but managed to get a shot on goal. Got a little bit of a touch from off Carter. Easy for Bagley.
Has been with Reading since the age of 8. Melissa Fletcher made her senior debut at 16. Carter. Certainly speaking to people at Birmingham today, you get the sense that this is a club still with lots of ambition, keen to get back to the sort of level that saw them finish as WSL runners-up in both 2011 and 2012, the first 2 seasons of the league. Also Continental Cup runners-up in the same years with that man in charge, David Parker.
I don't think he'll be particularly pleased with the performance tonight, and it started a little bit better and more positive at the start of the second half, but they just lost it a little bit, and Reading have got themselves on top. And Jo Potter not particularly happy there. I think she was squashed with Bruton and then ended up fouling her herself. Frustration there, overflowing.
McGee it is to take the free kick here, the Reading captain. Again, it's McGee who sends it forward, just a hopeful punt really, but it comes off the head of Carter, and that is good commanding goalkeeping by Sophie Bagley.
Yeah, excellent from Sophie Bagley. She's had a couple of wobbles this game, but she managed to reach there and grab the ball under severe pressure.
She began playing, Sophie Bagley, at the age of 7 with her local boys team. Pass by Cox, didn't quite have enough on it. Remy Allen competing for it for Birmingham. This is Lawley. And Aisi is up in support, as is Remy Allen. Still Mel Lawley, can she pick out the pass? Stringer for Birmingham. Carter, watched here by Stobbs. Aisi, who's pulled McGee out from a central area. Bruton. That's a really nice turn by Jade Moore, showed her quality there. It's Jade Moore again, into the area. There are 3 to pull it back for here. It's Aisi, he couldn't squeeze it out. Great play by Moore.
And then all the quality from that run came from that girl there, Jade Moore. So much energy. A good turn to start off with, and she could just see the run. And Jo Potter just laid her in. She passed it past the defender, but Frida Aisi's got to do better than that. And if she lays it back to Lawley, you've got to score a goal from that, Birmingham, because that's a terrific move.
We certainly have seen an impact, haven't we, from the England international Jade Moore since she was brought on at half-time by David Parker. Stringer trying to get away from Follis, who's not had the same influence really in the second half. The Reading midfielder, here's Mannion. Easily away from Follis. Stringer. Mannion once more. Pressure applied on Emily Westwood. Just over 20 minutes to go in Solihull. Up towards Aisi. McGee letting it bounce. Bounce was by Jane. It's Moore to have a go! Oh, she looks in the mood.
Yeah, that wasn't far away from Jade Moore, just opened up in front of her. Nobody really closing her down in the Reading team. That was closer than probably thought at first, like the goalkeeper just making sure it goes past. But Jade Moore has definitely been the standout player in the second half for Birmingham. She just needs to get the rest of her team going. That's a great little turn. Take 2 of them out of the game. 1-2. Nearly created the first goal for Birmingham.
Rowe. Bruton looking for Fletcher. The word is from the bench is about to be taken off shortly. Harriet Scott being readied for action by Kelly Chambers. And they've worked it in brilliantly here. What a challenge that is from Jess Carter. That was real quality.
That's again good play from Rachel Rowe. Really, really well taken by Follis. Carter's played well all night. She's made 2 or 3 of those saving challenges in front of her goalkeeper, Bagley. Well capable of that. She has the speed and the athleticism.
Is that substitution that we had been expecting then, with Melissa Fletcher withdrawn, and it's Harriet Scott who comes on to replace her, making her WSL debut as a youth graduate with Reading. Joined the club at under 12 level, but hasn't been used in the league this season since promotion from the second tier.
She's slotted in down this left-hand side of the midfield. Maybe Reading just making sure that they don't lose this game and come away with a point at least. The onus on Birmingham to try and get the 3 points as the home team.
Scott going down. Still too enthusiastic to win it back there. Stringer. Did have that earlier problem, didn't she, Melissa Fletcher, and hasn't been able to run it off, at least tried to do it, but the ice needing to be applied here.
Just what you need on a night like this is ice on your legs. Although she might be warm, she's running about a bit.
Potter. That was by Molly Bartrick. This is Jane looking to bring it forward for Reading, but well intercepted by Harrop. Reading could translate anything like their away form from last season into this. We'll be quite sure of survival in the top flight. Had a 100% away record in WSL2, 9 wins out of 9. Scored 35 goals and conceded only 5 in those matches. They've got defending to do here though. Aisi couldn't hit the target. golden opportunity for Birmingham City.
It's a really, really good ball in from Harrop, and all it needed was just something just to divert the path of the ball, and Aisha just couldn't get on the end of it. It was curling away anyway. She got something, but just not enough. Mary Earps was probably beaten at just the angle there, just wide of the post. It's a good opportunity for Aisha, and to be fair, she tried her best with that one.
I have to say it's one of the few times tonight that they've got quality service into that central area.
You've got to get the service and you've got to get the bodies in as well, and it looks something like Birmingham when they actually do that. Just a faint touch, just not enough. Unlucky there for Aisha. It's a defender that Reading have put on, Kylie Davis, so they are looking to just tighten up a little bit.
Kylie Davis, it is, who's been brought on here for the captain, McGee.
Must have had a problem, McGee. She's done well all game. Kylie Davis is a really experienced replacement in that centre-half position.
Hayley Hines wearing the armband now. But they're just starting to apply a bit more pressure, Birmingham City, as we move into the final 15 minutes. Really important for Reading that they can get through this period of the game. Allen.
Yeah, Birmingham can become a little bit more agricultural, just throwing the ball in there, and they've done that the last sort of 5 minutes and got themselves opportunities from it, and anything to win the game really. Get the bodies in the ball, just throw the ball in there. And that was offside. It was Remy Allen that was just coming back.
And last weekend's FA Women's Cup final will have brought back happy memories for that man. Winners of the competition under David Parker in 2012, when Chelsea were the losing finalists that day as well, as they were on Saturday. Player of the match in that game was Karen Carney, who left Birmingham for Chelsea ahead of this season. Mannion's hurried clearance. Aisha. Lawley. It's a really good run by Lawley, and there were two waiting in the middle, but it was beyond both of them.
It's not really a good play by Mel Lawley, but at the end it was like she couldn't decide whether to put the cross in or have a go. She got past the defender, and it was neither or neither. Just need to throw the bodies at it, Birmingham. They've gotten themselves in good positions. Just got a better ball in.
Had Remy Allen and Frida Aisha to aim at in the middle there. Mel Lawley. Just mentioning the FA Women's Cup final there, I think we should give a mention too to the attendance at Wembley for that game. A shade under 33,000, Lucy, a record for the competition. It was great to see. I know you were there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the thing is that's where it should be. There's, you know, the FA Trophy, the FA Vars are all played at Wembley, and have been for a long time. There's no reason why the Women's FA Cup final can't be played, and it gives stature to it as well. It gives that the greater stature to the competition, and people go and watch it, and it's been proved as well with the attendance at the weekend. And what a great occasion and a terrific performance from Arsenal.
Lawley. Hines for attention. Early cross in, a deep one. And the goalkeeper was really concerned there, Mary Earps.
Really difficult to deal with. The goalkeeper really putting pressure on Mary Earps to make those sort of decisions as a goalkeeper, but just a bit more pressure from Aisha. Difficult for her to get on the end of it. Didn't know whether the goalkeeper was going to get a touch, but Harrop, these left-footed crosses have come from her, and they're really causing havoc in that Reading defensive third.
Just get the feeling that Birmingham City here growing in stature as the game wears on. We talked before the game, Lucy, with Kelly Chambers about how Reading are very much a club in transition, and part of what you meant about that was the fact that several of them transferred from part-time to full-time, and the physical exertions of that are something that's been highlighted. Just wonder if that might tell in the closing stages.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking quite fit, and the intensity is high from Reading, but there is a difference.
Lawley got there first, but the shot was always rising from Birmingham's number 14.
Again, Lawley is at the centre of everything Birmingham are doing going forward. She makes those runs into space, but she just cannot get that. It's a difficult chance to convert. Good play by Aisi. Kyla Davis. Molly Bartrip in the end just edged Lawley out.
Well, Birmingham City making a change here, and it's Stringer who's being replaced. It's Ellie Brazil who is coming on, just 17 years old. Made her WSL debut in a 2-0 loss against Manchester City in April. Also an accomplished 400-metre and 800-metre runner, Ellie Brazil. Look to offer some threat in that final third in the closing stages as we approach the final 10 minutes of the game in Solihull. That's a lovely ball through, but the first touch just got away from Amber Stobbs.
They've really put some slick passing together, Reading. And Stobbs just was struggled with that first touch.
And Brazil looking to get there, and did. And Aisi couldn't quite get it back to her. What an introduction that could potentially have been.
She definitely does look like a 400-metre runner. Very leggy, Brazil, but Aisi could have done with just flipping the ball back inside. So you see the run she made on the inside, but she slipped before she could do that.
Aisi's last goal in that 2-1 win against Doncaster last month. Has just been a little off from Mary Earps of late. Birmingham City a throw in here. Good ball by Moore here to Mel Lawley. It certainly looked like making something happen, particularly in this second half. Lawley up against Jane here. Stood the ground well there, Jane.
She's really come into the game. Mel Lawley for Birmingham. Tricky, quick feet. Lots of energy and endeavour. Birmingham looked the more likely as Reading started the second half that they were going to be the one scoring, but Birmingham have come on strong as the halves progressed.
It's going to be Joe Potter to take this corner again. They decide to go short. Really busy inside that penalty area. It's Hines who got it clear. Certainly came out nicely to be hit. Allen off target. To say, if Kelly Chambers' side could stay up this season, it would be another fine achievement for a club that has enjoyed great success in the last few years. 2 promotions in 3 seasons have taken them to the WSL.
I think at this stage she'll be happy with a point. I think at one stage she probably thought her team could grab all 3, but if they can go to away games and just keep picking up points, it may be the difference between staying up and going down if they can get more wins in their home games.
This time ball by Mannion. Cox it was with the header that found touch. Westwood. Nice ball by Moore, but just miscontrolled by Carter. Skipped up off the turf in her defence.
Probably the first mistake Carter's made in this game. She's been spot on for Birmingham, defensively anyway.
Just to let you know that in the other game that was going on tonight in the WSL, huge at the top of the table, Manchester City have won by 2-0 at Chelsea, I should say. BT and Stokes with the goals in that game for Manchester City, who retain their 100% record, Lucy, but Chelsea's has gone.
Yeah, that's a big, big result. Not only have they gone to Chelsea and won, that they've gone and they've not conceded. And I think that will give them a lot of confidence, Man City, that the first challenge of the season really in the league. They've gone and won.
What a terrible week it's been for Chelsea, right off the back of losing the cup final as well to Arsenal. It's how they bounce back from it now.
Yeah, I won't want to be in that dressing room tonight, because they won't have been happy at the weekend at their performance and the fact that they lost to Arsenal, the bitter rivals. But tonight, they've lost to the bitter rivals at home. They would have expected to be strong at home, but they've just got to bounce back from it. And now they can't really afford to lose that many more. Not the way that Man City are playing anyway.
Well, they'll be looking to bounce back, of course. Chelsea at home in Staines, live on BT Sport in our next live WSL action against Sunderland, who've been struggling themselves of late at the wrong end of the table. That from 7:15 on Wednesday. I hope you can join us for that. Sent long by Westwood, who's been caught here just after the ball had been played. It certainly isn't the sort of player to stay down like that unless there's a real problem.
No, she had to make that chance to, and I think it was a standing leg that was just caught there. Just clearing with a left foot, just a right foot caught there. And Jane stops right.
Good sportsmanship from Stobbs to check on the fitness here of the Birmingham captain, Emily Westwood. We've got the winner for Blues last time out against Notts County, who started out with Wolves, where she played under Dennis Mortimer. This will be a real concern, you would think, for David Parker, such an important player, Emily Westwood.
A key figure at the back, and she can play all over up front, midfield. But last couple of seasons she's played at the back, and real solid player for the Blues, and doesn't look good. I mean, it's just don't really expect that from your standing leg to be caught there. She was clearing with her other foot, and you won't be happy about that.
Was capped 10 times for England, Emily Westwood, the last of those in 2009, an FA Cup winner as well in 2012. Let's have another look at how this has happened.
And the intention from Stobbs was to get to the ball first, but inadvertently caught Westwood, and that's a sore one. And straight away her ankle, she could feel that.
It doesn't look hopeful at the moment, does it? They have made all their changes, Birmingham City, so if she can't carry on here, Westwood, they are going to have to play the final 5 minutes or so, with added time included. Just 10 on the pitch.
She'll stay on. She'll just, even if all she can do is stand there. Emily Westwood, type of competitor she is.
Sent long here by Joe Potter. Scott. That's a really clever pass, you know. And they're looking to make the most of the fact that Birmingham are down to 10 here. Surging forward in numbers, Reading. Follis with the cross. It's blocked well. Had to be really from Mannion. They are looking threatening there, Reading.
Yeah, Mannion did well there, just tracking Follis, know that she has the speed to get past her, but just backtracked and just made sure she just tracked where Follis was going. It's a really good block and just saved her team. They were just outnumbered there for a while.
Well, Birmingham have now been restored to their full complement with Emily Westwood back on the pitch, but how freely she'll be moving is open to question really here, as defending to do here. The clear was by Harrop. This is Aisi. Reading, remember, looking for their first league win of the season. Look like they could finish strongly here. Hines, who's wearing the armband now, have the power really to trouble Sophie Bagley. Are we to get a winner in Solihull? Lawley. Westwood. Bruton trying to win it back again for Reading. That was Hines with the challenge on Allen. Tackle that wasn't appreciated by the Birmingham City players, and a yellow card shown to Kaylee Hines.
A real shout from Remy Allen there. She's not one to go down injured. She obviously felt that challenge from Hines. Yeah, I think she got her foot stood on. And those types of boots that you wear nowadays, that's got to hurt as well. Real painful. You've got to accept the yellow card there.
It's confirmation of that yellow card for Kaylee Hines, who's been filling in as captain since Kirsty McGee went off. No surprise really that Allen is still needing some treatment here. Certainly looked a sore one, that, for the former England under-23 international. There's two younger twin sisters, Remy Allen, who play for Leicester. I think that he would be, Lucy, pretty frustrated if they couldn't go on and win this game. Would have targeted, you would think, against a newly promoted team.
Yeah,
a win here.
You would have expected 3 points, but the finishing from both sides has not been top-notch up until this point.
Could yet be an opportunity to win it as we move into added time. 5 minutes of it there will be in Solihull. How is he going to win it?
5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes of added time.
Carter with the long throw in. Aisi. They apply some pressure here, Birmingham City. A long throw in from Carter, seeking to do just that, but gets another opportunity here to send it into a dangerous area. And they're appealing for a penalty in there, and the shot came in from Jade Moore.
Jade Moore took the opportunity there. Everybody complaining about Remy Allen perhaps being fouled. She got that on target. That would have sneaked in that far post. It's just lobbed back in there by Carter, and what they're arguing there was just a nudge from Remy Allen. Difficult to see from that angle, but there's an opportunity for Jade Moore just to strike that. She got a kick there, didn't she? And the ball was taken as well. I think where the referee was, he isn't going to give those.
Just need to find ways to be that bit more ruthless in attack, Birmingham. They only scored 7 league goals last season at home. What saved them from going down was their defence. Only the top 3 conceded fewer goals, but it's been a problem again for them tonight.
Yeah, I think that the finishing's been a problem for both teams tonight. Real natural goal scorers have come to the fore tonight, and this could be just the difference between these two teams and getting 3 points.
Brazil has got there. There's nobody really to aim at in the middle. Aisi only arriving belatedly.
The Birmingham City player of the match is chosen by tonight's match sponsor.
Birmingham's next WSL match is also at home. They entertain Rick Pasmere's Notts County on Sunday. And then there's a long gap until the next league game, which is at home to Arsenal on the 29th of June. And here's Bruton for Reading. Follis. Showed too much of that to Harrop. Aisi. Still time yet to find a winner. Good play by Aisi. Lawley. Defended by Jane. Bruton going to ground.
Just caught behind by Jade Moore. Just gives a bit of respite to the Reading back four.
This Reading women's last competitive outing until they entertain Arsenal in the Continental Cup on the 2nd of July. The next league game is away at Liverpool on the 9th of July, so it's a long wait now for competitive action. Optimistic from Hines. A new ball required.
I don't know why you're laughing at it, it's landed on your car.
I did hear a thud. Just a minute of added time to go. What have you made of it in general, Lucy, the contest?
Well, it's been a real slog. I expected to see a little bit more quality, both attacking thirds, but it's just not been there. But these teams weren't going to give up. Birmingham have been better in the second half. Jade Moore's come on. Neither have just done enough to get that winner.
Maybe time for one last opportunity, just over 30 seconds to go as Jess Carter dusts off the ball here. He goes to a busy area. Mannion. Off the head of Jane. Pass by Hines. Follis. Lauren Bruton has got to that, and Follis has continued her run into the area. Hines. Surely just seconds remaining here. There is the full-time whistle. All square then in Solihull. Nothing to separate Birmingham and Reading. Blues now 4 league games unbeaten. The Royals still awaiting their first WSL victory of the season under Kelly Chambers. Not in league action now until July. Birmingham welcome Notts County here on Sunday. Certainly was a game of few opportunities. There was a good one, wasn't there, in the second half for Frida Aisi. Just one league goal to her name. There was a penalty appeal in the first half for Birmingham City when Joe Potter went to ground pretty early on in the game. It looked as though the referee made the right decision, knowing not awarding a penalty kick. A really combative, organised, disciplined performance from the visitors Reading, still awaiting their first league victory, but you would think that they will be pretty pleased with the performance level so far in the league, even though they go into that mid-season break without getting that first victory. And it finishes here in Solihull. Birmingham ladies 0, Reading women 0. Well, there is Emma Follis, who certainly was one of the standout players in the first half, had that good opportunity as well, showed great technique. But they seem reasonably pleased, the Reading players, with a point. And we'll have some reaction coming up shortly. Stay with us for that, but at full time, it's finished goalless here.
Welcome back to Solihull. It's finished 0-0 between Birmingham and Reading here this evening in the WSL. Delighted to have David Parker join us. David, give us your thoughts on the game.
Not one for TV, first of all.
Don't say that.
No, it was. It was a very poor game, and it wasn't a spectacle for women's football. So apologies from our behalf, but it wasn't a game for on the ball today. It was a first and second ball game, and I think both teams at the end will take a point from that because neither team deserved to come away with all 3.
What was it from your point of view then, from Birmingham? Why they didn't win the game? What was lacking?
I think from our pattern, from our own half into the opposition's half, we didn't play the pattern at all in the first half. Much better second half, and we created chances and we got down the sides and in between centre halves and full-backs as we want to. But from there, it was just kind of like we didn't create enough chances. Yes, we've had Frida and Jade that we've dropped to, but it really hasn't worked for us tonight, and we just need to be better in terms of getting into our pattern to be able to play the way we want to through the thirds.
Well, you called on Jade and Remy in the second half. What did you say to them at half-time?
It was just go out and do business as usual. I mean, it was a first and second ball game. Obviously, we changed it round, took Mel out, and obviously Chloe Peplow as well, and they've both done fantastic this year. He just needed a change to win the first and second ball game, and that got us momentum in the opposition half.
Perhaps more chances in the second half, as you say. Frida Aisi with perhaps the clearer of the chances.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Frida's been absolutely on fire this season. Yeah, she'll be up and down in games and people were questioning her work ethic, but you can't question it tonight. But it's just creating those chances, like when they've happened and come along right here, just the timing of the run, just a little check of a movement just to change it, and that will come with experience. She's not a natural goal scorer, she's more of a 10 that likes to drop in, and we're trying to change the game to be able to get into that. But a more natural forward would have checked their movement there and should have had a clean strike at goal, and then the header across there, maybe come across the other side, but as the ball's come in, she's glanced to it and it was an inch wide.
Sue Smith and Casey Stoney still with us. Sue, do you think Frida had the chance to kill the game off?
I think she did, and she did look lively at times, but it was just that quality in front of goal that was lacking. But she got herself into the right positions. It was just finding that end product. And I thought Jade Moore, when she came on, Remy Allen, I thought they just give a little bit more life, a little bit more something to the team going forward. But I think, like you mentioned, you couldn't question her work rate. She kept going, Frida Aisi, right until the end, and this was a fantastic ball in, and it was just unlucky that there was only 2 players in the box, and then Jade Moore again, you know, that's not her forte, shooting from the edge of the box, but this was so much closer. It was a great effort, but it's like she came on with a point to prove, wanting to put a stamp on the game, really.
Well, she certainly ignited a bit of a spark, didn't she, in that second half? It's nice to see Jade and getting some minutes under her belt.
That's it. I mean, it's been a long road back for Remy Allen as well. It's introducing them gradually into the game. We don't want to push them too soon, too early, and let them bow up again. They've got a long season ahead of them, and we're going to need every ounce from every bit of the group. And it's about using the group that we have. We've got lots of injuries at the moment, and just utilising them technically and tactically when we can from the whole group. And the change in the second half was one that we kind of looked at, and it was what was needed in the game at the time.
I suppose you call on those experienced players, especially when you want something to change in the game. You call on those players in the second half.
Absolutely, and you look at it and go, JJ and Remy, I think from the top of my head, that's the first time we've been able to play them in about 10 months together in the 3. So when we were going Champions League, going for league titles, those are the 3 in midfield, and it's been a long time not to have those 3 together. So it's great to have them back, and hopefully now this is the start of things to come, and our youngsters can start learning from them a bit more without the pressure on them.
Casey, we said that Reading had perhaps the better of the chances in the first half. They had a couple in the second half as well, didn't they?
Yeah, I have to credit both defences, really. I think there were half chances at both ends, and actually there's a couple of last-ditch tackles that Birmingham centre-halves have made that really, that's fantastic defending by Karis Herb. I think that's a goal otherwise. You know, hesitation from the goalkeeper, which she won't be happy with, but, you know, that's what your defenders are there for, to get you out of trouble. And I think both teams defended well, but both teams also weren't clinical enough in the final third.
We've kind of said, David, before the game that Reading have come into this division. They've been hard to beat.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you've got to make yourself, when you're coming up and being promoted through divisions, you've got to make yourself hard to beat first and foremost, and that's kind of like a standard entry from any team being promoted. Once you're hard to beat, then you can go forward and grow into the season. Reading will be absolutely fine this year, I've got no doubts about it. They've got enough up front, they've got players coming back from injury. They didn't have Helen Ward today, they didn't have Jade being able to come off for them as well, so once they get more firepower with Emma Follis up front, they'll be absolutely fine.
How satisfied are you then with the start that you've had to this season? Certainly a better start than 2015.
That's it. I mean, last season was a one-off. We're always at the top of the table, Continental Cup finals, FA Cup finals. That is us. That's where we want to get back to. And it might be a little bit of a gradual route, but we're making massive, massive strides that people will see over the coming months that will aid in performance on the pitch and all the changes we've made in the backroom staff and the infrastructure. So with that going on, I'm hoping and wanted a little bit more. So Liverpool, where we lost, we missed 2 penalties. We should have won the game without penalties. Hopefully you're looking here tonight against kind of like one of your rivals. You want to pick up 3 points at home, so maybe from there a higher points tally than what we'd look for, but we still take this right now to be able to tuck ourselves right in there.
David, I know you're disappointed with the game tonight, but we're really pleased that you came over and spoke to us. Yeah. Let's hear then from Kelly Chambers.
Kelly, a good point?
Yeah, definitely. I knew it was going to be a tough game. Birmingham are a strong side. They don't concede many goals, and the performance my girls have put on tonight is fantastic.
Worked incredibly hard.
Yeah, they did. We was a bit slow out of the blocks from the first whistle, but we could have easily crumbled in the last 15 when Birmingham really piled on the pressure, but the girls showed their resilience tonight and they were fantastic.
Helen Ward's only on the bench tonight, didn't get on. Is there an injury problem there at all?
She's poorly. Yeah, she's not very well. She was obviously on the bench to start off with, but yeah, she spoke to us in the warm-up. She's not very well tonight, so yeah, we couldn't get her on the pitch.
I would imagine a real frustration for you, that your top scorer.
Yeah, definitely. She's been great for us all season so far, so yeah, it was a disappointment we couldn't bring her on, but just shows the strength and depth we've got in our squad because we can bring other players on and do a job as well.
Certainly seen plenty of smiles from your players at the full-time whistle. Of course, you go now into effectively a mid-season break, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long break, but we've had a tough start to the season. We've played 6 games, and we've played 2 games in 1 week, 3 games in another week, and this is our final game before the break. So credit to the girls stepping up into this league and having to deal with the schedule and the amount of minutes that they've had to play, and to pick up points on the way. They've been fantastic this half of the season.
It's all about adjusting when you move from the second tier. How well do you feel that is going? Has that just been another step in the right direction in that respect tonight?
Yeah, definitely. It's always the transition's always difficult when you're a part-time player training twice a week to then training every day. You've got to adjust to all the training load, but then being able to come out here and put performances on in WSL 1 and pick up points is credit to the team. They've been fantastic.
Possibly your best chance maybe in the first half to Follis. It was a good opportunity, and she had a fine first half actually.
Yeah, she was brilliant in the first half, and we created opportunities, and even in the last couple of minutes when we had kind of people getting 1v1s and then just with the keeper and stuff. So yeah, we're creating chances, just a case of us putting them away now.
Thanks for your time.
No problem, thank you.
Kelly Chambers there, the Reading manager, speaking to Adam Summerson. Although Davies was disappointed, sounds like Kelly was pretty happy with how they coped with Birmingham tonight, and picking up a point is, well, it's better than nothing, isn't it?
Well, I think it is, and I think the fact coming here, that it's a difficult place to come. I think Birmingham are a top team, and I think it's just listen to everybody singing. So I think obviously it is a difficult place to come. I think to get the point, they've got to be happy with that, and I think the way that their team is difficult to break down, and then they're also always a threat going forward.
We heard her say that Helen Ward was feeling unwell, which is why she didn't play tonight. How much do you think she was missed, Casey?
I think she's a big miss. We said both sides were lacking in the clinical finishing in the final third, and she would have given you that. So I think she's a big loss to the team, but a point, I think they would have took that before the game.
Let's just quickly remind you of some games that we've already had this week in the WSL. Sunderland took on Liverpool last night in the North East, and it was a comfortable victory, I have to say, for Liverpool. And after Liverpool's defeat against Chelsea 6-3, that was they needed that win to bounce back, didn't they, Liverpool?
Yeah, they really did. Yeah, and I think Liverpool have been going through a transitional period. They lost a lot of players, they brought a lot of players in, and I think the fact that they might just be starting to gel, because that's a good performance away at Sunderland.
Sunderland were so well last season. They were the surprise package, I suppose. But this second season in WSL 1 is proving a little bit more difficult for them.
Second season syndrome, unfortunately. I think teams have worked them out a little bit, but hopefully they'll come good.
The other result tonight is that Manchester City beat Chelsea in Staines by 2-0, so they stay at the top of the table. And crucially, they haven't conceded a goal yet. Sue.
They haven't, and I think that's something that Manchester City are really good at. The fact that they have kept the same back four, the same goalkeeper, and they are so difficult to break down. And that's what it's all about. If you can defend, then you allow the front players to go forward and create the chances, and they've been excellent at that this season.
Chelsea will be hurting, won't they? The FA Cup defeat, of course, and then that defeat tonight. They'll be thinking about how they can turn a corner.
I think it's been a long time since they've had back-to-back defeats. I think psychologically it's going to have a big impact on them, and it's how they react now. It's what characters have they got in their dressing room to get their team back together and get back to winning ways. And they've got a great opportunity to do that next week against Sunderland, a team that aren't playing well at the moment. Chelsea need to get back to winning ways, otherwise it could be a poor season for them.
Well, the other thing to mention, I suppose, is Sunderland inflicted their first defeat on Chelsea last season of 4-0, didn't they? So
did.
anything could happen next week.
Of course, and I think that's what's so good about this league now, that everybody can beat everybody, and I think Sunderland will probably be thinking that as well. They'll be thinking, well, we've got that psychological advantage that we have done it before. It's not a case of going there and always getting beat. So you never know what's going to happen in that game, but I think Chelsea will definitely want to get back to winning ways really soon.
This was Sunderland, of course, last night being beat by Liverpool by 4-0, so they'll be looking to bounce back.
Yeah, I have to say though, back-to-back defeats doesn't make you a poor side. Chelsea are a great side. They've got great players in their dressing room. They just need to get a win, and psychologically that will boost them. I'm sure Emma Hayes is keeping them nice and calm at the moment. They've played Arsenal, they've played Man City. That's not two easy teams to play against. So I don't think they'll be panicking, and they shouldn't, because like I said, there's great players in that dressing room. They just need to get back to winning ways.
Now you two might be a little bit cagey with how you answer this, because you go against each other this weekend, of course. Sue first, how are Doncaster feeling quickly?
I was going to kick Casey down the steps earlier, but I didn't manage to do that. No, of course, it's going to be a difficult game, and just really looking forward to it.
There are no easy games, but Arsenal will be full of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we've set our standards now, and it doesn't matter who you play, you've got to play with the same intent and the same intensity, and it's a big game away from home for us on another nice big pitch, so we're looking forward to it.
The WSL Social, don't forget, wraps up everything that happens in the Women's Super League. That is on Sunday at midnight. My thanks to Casey Stoney, to Sue Smith. We are back next Wednesday as Chelsea take on Sunderland. But from Solihull this evening, very good night. Bye-bye for now.